I'm Bert, also known as DJ AYEBERT. I reside now in Las Vegas, born and raised in Cali. When I first got exposed to DJing was my two friends, Tommy and Lawrence, back in high school. During those pep rallies, they brought their DJ equipment, and I was like walking in class. I was like, "Since when can we bring this stuff?" And like, "Oh yeah, it's pep rally. They hired us." All right, cool. And then I was just watching them, and that's my first time seeing like pretty much a DJ in like up close and personal. Once I got into college is when I noticed I had more free time, and then I was like, "Hey, what am I gonna do now?" So it's like I was like talking to my mom. I was like, "Hey, you know what'd be fun? Let's get if I get turntables." And then my mom was all like, "You're gonna be like every other Filipino in you're gonna be like your cousins." And then I was like, "Yeah, let's give it a try." And I had nothing to do, so I bought two techniques, and I first started with underground hip hop. I my favorite song at that time was like Hieroglyphics, A3 Tail, and I was just luckily I was living in Cerritos, so that's where like Stacks of Vinyl was still around. That's like I saw the Beat Junkies. That was their spot. So every weekend I used to buy a couple records, and I was only saw myself like a bedroom DJ. Wasn't really expecting much of being a DJing in a club or anything. And then it's not until 2005 I opened my own streetwear shop in Pomona during college. Like shout out to my cousin Crooks and Castles and them, and they're the one to help me up with opening up brands for the shop, and I decided to bring my turntables there. And then as the popularity of my shop grew, a couple DJs from Vegas started going to my shop because I get one of my homies, DJ Connects West, used to live in like Chilo Hills, and he found out about my shop, and he'll just go there pick up stuff for his gigs. And then he saw the turntables in my shop. He was like, "You DJ?" I was like, "Not really, but I just mess around." And then he was like, "Do you ever want to be like a club DJ?" And I was like, "Well, I don't even really have that much music." And then he was like, "Oh, what if I give you my library?" Because at that time it was ready. The Serato was just starting, and I didn't even knew what Serato was. And then I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try." And then he gave me his whole library. It was actually DJ Slip's music library. And I was like browsing. I was like, "Wow, it has every freaking genre." And sure enough, I was just messing around. And then at the time, one of my art, he does like all the artwork for my T-shirts, and he also promotes in LA for 21XL. And he was like, "You want to try DJing in the club?" And it's like, "Sure." Never tried it, but I'll give it a shot. And so I think my first gig, that place is probably not even around anymore. It was in LA called Florentine Gardens, and yeah, it was interesting because even I was like a young guy, and then all the other DJs were like probably looking at me like, "Who's this guy?" He was like, "Who's this tiny guy?" Like, and then I was like nervous. It's my first gig, so I was like, "Shh!" Like they're like putting the needle on the thing. I was like, "Oh, why is he shivering?" And I was like, "It's my first gig. Shut up." And after like a couple drinks, and then finally like 20 minutes out on my set, I was like getting more comfortable. I was like, all right, I think I could read this crowd. And then I started liking it, and then ever since then, 21XL started booking me. And then that's how I met Carla, because Carla knew some of the people at 20XL, and then Wes at the time who gave me the library, he was kind of mentoring Carla when she moved here. And then so he told her about my shop too. So then she started shopping, and then she started telling other DJs in Vegas who he's at the time used to go back and forth from LA, so they used to stop by my shop. And then that's how I was got a network with other DJs here. And then sure enough, I was like, why don't I give it a try? 2012, I visited one of my friends in it was Senior Frogs in Treasure Island. I just did a guest spot for like an hour, and it just so happens that the music director was there. And then I just out of nowhere a week later, just my friend was like, "Hey, the music director was trying to find your contact because he still remembers your set. I was like, really? What did I play? Because I was drunk. And then they're like, whatever you did, he was impressed. So he was like, he wants you to try like 1 week, like I guess that our version of the interview, just testing me out for a week over there, and then it was fun. And then and after that 1 week, he's like, hey, you want a spot here? I was like, okay. And so ever since then, 2012, all the way to 2016, I was going back and forth every weekend. And it's not till 2016 when I finally bought a place here, and now I'm here. I wanted to move sooner, but then I was helping my mom had cancer, so I was dealing with that. So that's when she passed away, that's when I decided. I was like, all right, maybe I start a new chapter. Is before she passed, she even knew. I already told her that I was really thinking of moving to Vegas, and she was like, yeah, do it. Just do better. She's the one that actually bought my turntable. So she was very supportive of, like, because she knows, like, when I focus on something, I'll eat, sleep, and just focus on like DJing, and it'll be like 3 a.m. She knows I'm just working on music, and yeah, she was. I would say, like, all the other family, they're like, why is he not being, like, why is he not being doctor, lawyer, and all that, the typical Filipinos, and she was like, no, so let him be. She's like, he's motivated, and then, well, one thing is just, in the back of my mind, just to make sure, like, hey, I want to make my mom proud for supporting me for all these years. I'm like, all right, at the back of my eyes, like, all right, I just make sure it's like, hey, she's watching down on me. I better do good.